This is Judy. Thank you for joining me here on YouTube. And today I am doing a stamp of the month video. This is the stamp of the month for September of 2023. It's called Thoughtful Tokens, and it's only available during September. I wanted you to see the stamp set. So it has a really pretty sentiment, happy birthday. I love the fonts of thinking of you, the thank you. And then the film strip, right? I always love a good film strip. And the butterfly, this kind of rectangle frame, and the postage stamp. It's just a beautiful stamp set. It has a floral here, a nice photo corner, or just something for decorations, right? It's just beautiful. You can use it for making collage papers and backgrounds and lots of different things. This one especially is good for fussy cutting and that butterfly. So I will show you the layouts that I have for you. This is the layout that you will receive. It'll be a kit. So if you purchase the stamp of the month from me this month, and you saw in the details, you spend $50, you can get it for $5, or if you're a VIP, you get it for free. But if you purchase it from me, I send you everything you need to make this layout, except for the base piece. And I used an off gray, I think it was linen, maybe mink. Yeah, I think it was mink for this layout, because mink has a brownish tone and linen has the cool tone, a bluer tone. So you could use either, really. So what you'll get is a zip strip, piece of mocha, a piece of the Good Life bulk paper, and then a couple strips of the blue plaid to put behind the photo mats, tab, a floral cluster, a title, and I did glue these little pieces together because I thought it'd be easier than sending all those little pieces separately. A couple of swirls, buttons, and hearts. It's just beautiful, and it's so easy to make. So let me show you how. Let me show you what's in the kit. So this is what you receive, minus the base piece. Unless you order a lot, and it makes it economical for me to be able to send you this base piece. Or if I see you at any upcoming retreats, I'll bring it with me, and you can have that base cardstock. So this is your photo mat. These are all your little pieces. And depending on what zip strip I had, this one has a little trucks with it. And then you'll get your mocha piece and this piece. These two go on the side of your photo mat, like here. Here's your title. And you just put it together. This piece is extra. I didn't have a need for it, so I put it in the kit in case, you know, you might want to make something with it. Cut out some flowers, punch out a shape, whatever you may want to do. And then all your little pieces. So you get 3 swirls, some leaves, and the flower. I'll put it down here so you can see it. The living base, life, this big flower that goes on the top here, your 3 hearts. And you might have some extra little dots. They were the inside of things, or this actually is probably the flower center. The leaves. Here's the best, all glued together for you. And the other title here somewhere. So you'll be able to put your letters on here. Now, one thing you want to make sure is that you use the correct side of the letter. Our cardstock is double-sided, so it could have a light side and a dark side, and that would be especially important for the E. You don't want to have all the letters light and then the E be the dark. And you can tell when you put them together. And the eye is the same way. Make sure you use the correct side of the eye. All right, so then the N. I love these papers. These are so, so pretty. The L, the I, another I, the V. There's our, and there's the V. Stuck in the bag. Living Our Best Life is the title. Of course, you could use anything you want. The buttons are double layer, so they have an innie and an outie, and this is the what goes around the outside. You can use either side, so you can make the button dark or the button light. And the other piece, when you layer it on top, could be dark. So you see the difference with them being like that. So it depends on what you choose to do. So there's your 3 swirls. This goes on here and on here, and then your circle on the top. Okay, here's a couple extra dots. These are from the inside of the buttons. Okay, so that is everything in a nutshell that you get. Okay, so all these pieces I inked and distressed to go with the theme of the paper. You can choose to do that or not. You don't have to, but depends on what photos you use. If they're, let's say, vintage photos, you may want to distress everything because it gives it that vintage feel. Okay, so for these pieces, you're going to need to tear. Let me bring in the layout again. Tear along the edges here. Okay, if you don't want to tear, you don't have to. You can just do the layers, but I chose to tear. So if I tear towards me, this is the side that will have the white. Now the other side is the light side, and I choose to use the dark side up. So depending on which side of the cardstock you would like to use in your layout, you put that side up and tear towards you for the white showing. And if you don't want the white showing, then tear it the other way. All right, it's a very controlled tear. If you hold with your fingers closely, you will be able to get a nice controlled one. Because this is not a very wide piece of paper, I'd like to do a controlled tear so that I get a nice straight, kind of straight line. And every now and then you get a little bigger rip, and that's okay. That adds to the character of your paper and your pages. All right, so we're going to do this and then tuck this one in. All right. Always difficult when you're doing a video. All right, so those are your layers. Okay, so but before we do all that, we've got to do this part. And what we're going to do is make a collage with all these papers, with all these stamps. So we're going to get these on blocks, and then I will be back. While I was putting these on blocks, I thought maybe I would just show you. You take your stamp off the block, and if you try to put it on your block, you could run the chance of it being a little off center or not quite straight. But if you put it down on something, and it will go to its natural, the natural design it's supposed to be, it'll be straight, in other words. And then pick it up with your block. If it's not straight, which is hard to do when I can't look directly over it, just take it off and do it again. And our blocks have this little guideline here, and it helps to make sure you have your stamp straight, and that looks just about perfect. One other thing I did was, this was one complete stamp, and I cut it apart so that I could use it in different ways. But if I wanted to use it the way it was designed, I would just put it together, fit it together like this, and then I can pick it up, and it's the way it was designed to be. Okay, for your inks, if you have these particular inks, you can use them to make it exactly how I'm going to. It's Harbor and Espresso. So if you have a deep brown and a deep blue, that's fine. Or you can use any colors that might match the photos you're going to use. But in order to match the papers, which are the Harbor and Mocha, you could also use Mocha for your ink. You would want to use something that goes along with the papers that I'm sending you, or cut papers of colors you want. Use those for the layout design. That's fine too. So first thing we're going to do is take our stamp pad, and sorry if you hear the little dogs, they decide to play when I'm scrapbooking, and not much I can do about it because I enjoy them being with me. So we're going to take our stamp, and I need scrap paper because I will be going off the edge of the paper, and my Versamats get dirty enough as it is. I want to put something under. And this is just a piece of white daisy. You could use a light gray if you want to as well. I actually said I probably used mink or linen, but I used white, and it looks like mink or linen. It is white. Okay, so that just goes to show you can make this paper any color you want. Right, so I'm going to try and follow the design that I did, and I'm going to stamp here, and then I'm going to stamp off, get a second generation. I might be able to get a third too. It doesn't matter, especially up here. The layers are going to be there. I don't know why I'm stamping up there. All right. Now I know I'm going to have an area down here, and it doesn't matter if you get ink on your page because it's all going to be covered anyway. And then I'm going to go off the side on this one, and because this took a minute, I'm going to huff on my stamp. Kind of moistens that ink back up again a little bit, and maybe we'll put a little bit down here. All right. So that's all you really need to do. The photo mat's going to go here. You're going to have the strips along the top. So you just want to get something around the outside. And that looks good. So I'll set that aside. And now we're going to use this one. And this one's going to be an espresso. And we're going to try and catch the corner of the photo mat. So put it here, and then I'm going to put one down at the bottom and go off the paper over here. And if it doesn't come out perfect, you know, like that's a little light, it's okay because you won't be able to see it anyways. Now we're going to put another one up in the corner that will be down from our paper layers. Okay, and then maybe we will do one here, and this will get the other side of that photo mat. Ooh, just a little bit. I like it when it has that lighter look. I just love making these collage pages. A lot of the companies that I see in scrapbook stores and so on, they have these collage pages, and they're just absolutely gorgeous. And this is exactly what we're doing. We're making our own. So now we're going to do the film strip, and we're going to use Harbor. And I need to find my masks. I have been experimenting with the Close to My Heart masking paper and found that it isn't as bad as I originally thought. So I have been using this one piece, as you can tell, for a lot of inking, and it is just still sticky and it stays down. Surprisingly enough, it really does work well. I was not a fan at first when I first started trying it, and I feel bad because now that I've been using it and experimenting with it, it's pretty good stuff. So if you have the masking tape, if you used it, don't discard it. Give it another shot. And as you can see, I'm just randomly stamping these stamps around. I'm checking my layout to see if there's any rhyme or reason to where I put things. Okay, I put another one down here. So let's see if I can get a little bit down here. I just love this. And the harbor makes a very nice, how many generations have I done already? Lots and lots of generations, and it's still stamping. So that's really pretty. The rest is going to be covered, so we'll put that one aside. All right, we're going to do some of the postage. All right, I just had a little talk with the dogs and told them to be a little quieter. Let's see if it helps. Since I remodeled my craft room, I'm using espresso now with the postage stamp. Since I remodeled my craft room, they have been loving it because they can run in circles around my table. Love this one, right? And they just have a ball. I have my whole basement is my craft room, and they just run and run and run and run like crazy dogs. I think they enjoy it as much as I do. All right, so that one's good. So let's do the other side. Oh, there's a piece of paper on there. No, it's a gem or something. Oh, it's a bead. I don't know where that came from. I haven't used beads in a long time. Let's see. Let's put you down here. This is a picture of somebody on a postage stamp type thing. So let's see, where else would we might need you? Right here. Okay. That looks good. I think that's about all I'm going to do. I don't want to do too much and, you know, really make it too busy. So now we're going to get out our blending brushes and ink these. These are the blending brushes from Close to My Heart, and I absolutely love them. I have one for every color. It took me a while to get them all, but it is very nice so that I know I have the true color and I'm not mixing like one blue. I used to have one blue blending brush for all the blues, and you can wash them so it doesn't make the colors off, but I am not like getting up to go wash them. When I'm in a creative process, I just want to use them. So I invested in getting enough for every color, and I just love having it this way. So what we're going to do now is we're going to do sections and add color. And I don't want it too deep, but you could make it as deep as you want. And I masked this off so I will have a white circle here. It just looked nice on my paper. Isn't that pretty? Oh, these blend brushes are so nice. Okay, and I don't know if you noticed, I take it off of the ink pad and rub it around on my lid. It disperses the ink in the bristles so I don't get a harsh blob of ink when I first put it down. So let's see, we'll do this. And I'm going to do 3 sections of each. So let's see, let's do over here. I want to put some brown here for this, but I want some blue right here. So even though these are close, it's okay. And if you spend enough to get both pages, I have a second page for those who spend a little bit more money when they order it. You'll want to put your cardstock together and maybe tape them in the back so they're together, and then stamp. So like this stamp would be on both pages. That way it would look nice when you put it together in your scrapbook. All right. And then when you're inking, you'll ink the same section on both pages as well. I hope that makes sense. And I'll show you on the 2 pages that I have already completed so you can see. And the process I'm doing is the same exact for the second page. Okay, so I won't do a video for that one because it's the exact same thing. All right, so now we're going to do our espresso. I need a shot of espresso right now. And we're going to do browns. So whatever brown or color that you're using. And you could use sponge daubers or the actual sponges. I cut them into quarters. I'll show you, I have one right here. I cut it into quarters and use it like that. It's not as smooth as these blending brushes, but it gives you a nice coverage. So what I'm doing is actually covering this paper so that it looks like it is a different color. Like I thought it was mink. Forgetting this is how I did it. Oh my goodness. Sorry about that. And I want to get a little bit more color down. A couple sections that are really dark, just to really make it look distressed. And I'm kind of following where the brown stamped images are with my blending brush. As you can see, like that's a brown one there. And then going out with it. It kind of makes it look dirty, right? But oh, I just love the effect. Not that it makes it look dirty, but the effect of coloring. And smudges there. Oh, that's actually a stamped image. It's not a smudge. I did it on purpose. But yeah. And splattering would also look good if you do some splattering on these. I did not, but it would look really nice. Okay, so now the reveal. So look how beautiful that is. All right. And like I said, I've used that one piece of masking paper over and over and over, and I think it sticks better now than it did at first. So it wasn't real. I didn't have good luck with it sticking. That's why I didn't like it. But now that I've used it a little more and experimented, it's working pretty good. All right, so this is the second page, and as you can see, this is what I meant about putting them together. So the stamped images and the inking goes across page to page. Okay. All right, so let me get the other pieces that are here. I don't need the torn ones. And depending on what adhesive you use, I'm using my big glue gun. I have to order some more tape. If anyone is interested in some ATG refills, let me know, because I get it by the case and then sell individual ones to people who might want it at my retreats and so on and so forth. All right, so there's our trucks. Now we're going to put down our brown. And the zip strip wasn't cut precisely on the line, so there's a little piece of white there showing. I'm okay with that. Adds a little character to the page. And any of my ATG that might be there, I'm just rubbing it off. All right, now this one, I've got to slide underneath, so I'm going to put the ATG on this one. And then I'm going to flip this up if I can get my fingernails under it. All right, and slide this underneath. And I can bring it down as far as I want. Because there's white there, I can go pretty low, but I don't want to cover up some of those images, so I'm not going to go that low. All right. So there's the beginning of that. And I did not ink those because I want the white to show. The rest of these I am going to ink. And I think I'm going to ink with Harbor, and I'm going to use a sponge dauber for that. And I also thought I'd bring in some desert rose just to spice up the hearts a little bit. Let me move this stuff out of the way. And if you notice when it was fast forwarding there, I was just dabbing some ink on the leaves and the other pieces just to give them a little character and texture, because I don't want to make it really dark and it's hard to get around the outside. So I just sponge it along here so you can see that little bit of definition. I love that look. Love, love, love it. It doesn't give it a lot of color, but it just adds a really nice soft shadow, right? So, and to get into, you know, it's hard to get in here. If you just fold it a little, then you can reach right in there and get it. And that goes for any banners or fishtail or anything like that. See how pretty that looks? Oh, I wanted to add a little bit to these leaves. Don't these leaves look fabulous like that? Just sponged. Give them some color and character. Makes them so pretty. All right, so that's all the sponging, I think. I'll leave the inks here in the daubers just in case I miss something. And now we will glue it together. There we go. So first thing, we're going to get all our pieces off of here. And then scrap paper acts as a very nice carrier for all the little pieces, but they're hard to find with all the ink on there. So let's see, we're going to have it like this. All right. And you can use foam adhesive if you want to. I didn't see a little tab in there. I'm going to have to find out. Make sure everybody gets one of those. So I think I popped up just the title and the flower. All right, and I need to sponge the inner part of the flower. Oh, the stamen is okay. Just add a little character to that one too. All right, they're sticking to my fingers. So let us bring in our T-square first so I can get this situated correctly. I'll move stuff out of the way so I can get it on my Versamat. I love having the Versamat to put everything on straight. It's a perfect 12 by 12. Center it on here. Sometimes I'll put little adhesive in the corner to hold it down. I don't have much to do to center, so I'm going to keep it like this. And let's see, this is 8.5, so it'll be 4 1/4 on each side. So let's see. I'm going to flip that over. So 2 1/4, 2 1/4. And this should make it perfectly centered. All right. Now we're going to do some gluing. I'm going to use this. And I'm not going to get too close to the edge because I do want to tuck some things underneath. And depending on how far down you want, I think this is going up to the 3. No, I'm going to leave room for my title. So we're going to go to the 2-inch mark approximately. Just moved a little. So let's now make that sure that it is centered. I'm going to go 2. All right. It's about the 2-inch mark here. Okay. So now we'll put our title on. Actually, let's put it together first. So you have this, and I really like how it came out spongy, and it made it so much deeper. And then when I put my letters on, they'll really pop. A flower we can put together. Let's add a little character to this with some ink. Just by sponging it. All right, so the flower's done. The leaves are done. Swirls need to be tucked behind. These need to be tucked behind. I'm just getting everything out of the way so I can find all my letters. I love how these leaves came out there from the thin cut from the Sprigs special that we had a couple catalogs ago. Love, love, love that one. I know why it sold out so fast. All right. So our best. And then hopefully all my letters are here. So I'm going to get this set. All right, I had to find my L and I, which I did, and got that on. I put it on there with some foam adhesive. And now these little swirls, I put them over here. Let's see. Okay. I don't want to have it where the glue is. I got glue on there and there. And I should think about where I'm putting the glue before I do it. And then this one's going to swirl up the other way. And this one I put down here under the flower. And the flower is going to go, just put glue in the middle. And this is going to go over the corner here. And we'll do our leaves next. Make sure I know which side I inked, because once the ink dries, it's a little bit lighter and it blends in so much nicer. It's hard to tell sometimes. So make sure you get those innie pieces out of all your cuts. These are all cut on the Cricut, and I didn't pull them all out of everybody, so watch for them. All right, so now we'll do the swirl. I think I'm going to go on this side with it this time. I like that. Okay. And now it's going to be covered up with this leaf. That's all right. All right. Love these leaves. Actually, maybe I can pull it up a little. Nah. I like the leaves. So that one going out like that. I'm going to have to make some more with the thin cut because I've used all the extras that I had to put in the kits. All right, so that's done. Now we're going to tuck in some hearts. And of course you could put the hearts anywhere you want. I really liked how they were tucked in nice with this flower. And we have another one cascading down. And then one up near the title. And then our buttons. I know I inked the dots to cover up the white, and then I'm going to cover them with buttons anyway. That's okay. It did add a little shadowing there, so I guess it's okay. And there's my other button. And again, I'm going to use the light sides. And then the little circle outside of the rim of the button is going to be the dark. And I'm just going to put a little bit of glue, just enough to hold it. And I'm using Barely Art glue. It's phenomenal. Dries clear and you'd never know it was there. Unless you tried to ink over it. It resists. So here's the tab. And I put it along the edge here. And this would be a really good place for the date of the photos. And then I did get some photo placeholders. These come in with all of the kits that we have. And I don't always use them, so I like to use them for my sample layouts. So you have room for 2 4x6s on this layout. You can change it up to fit whatever size your photos are. All right, so there we go. Isn't that gorgeous? We made our own background paper, and here's my original. So pretty close. I think I went a little bit darker with the background colors. I kind of like it that way. Now let me give you the layout that inspired me for this one. It's actually one of the layouts from the scrapbook kit. So this is what I started with. And I thought I really, really liked this design. They had these, so I expanded it to make the 4x6s. But the background paper, and then their layers up here, and the title. So we made our own title. Which one do you like better? I think I like the one we made better, right? I like this one. I like them both. That's why I copied it. Or used that as inspiration, I should say. All right, so let me show you the other layouts from the kit if you're interested. All right, so the scrapbooking kit comes with 3 2-page layouts. And let's see, this one goes here. I'll turn them the correct way. All right. So these two go together. I don't know if you'll be able to see them all together. And sorry for the glare, I know, but yeah, I've already got them in page protectors. Okay, so this is the other side of this one. I love this one too. This is such a pretty theme layout. And then see on the back of this one, yep, this is the third layout, and there's an exclusive paper that has this on it. It's a farm theme. Really like it. I wish I had more of it. So, and I love the little barns. Yeah, I live on a farm, so this paper collection is very, very nice. I just love it. All right, so my layouts will fit right in with that theme. And again, the second page, let me show you. So if your order is $75 or more, which could include shipping and tax, this is the second page I'll give you. The only difference is the flowers a little different. There are little hearts that you bend and fold to give it a little more dimension. The label here is different. There's not the big title one, but everything else is just about the same. These are a little smaller because you have a 4x6 and a 3x4. All right, so if you have any questions, let me know. I hope you enjoyed this. It's very, very fun. Very, very fun to make your own paper. So when you get it, let me know how you do. Thanks.